Taking a look at Green Day's #1 hit songs, and we are ranking that very exclusive list of songs. We got 11 of them today, and they all hit #1 on the charts, and we're going to rank them according to my opinion. Number 11 is Know Your Enemy. This one kind of surprised me that it's one of their biggest hits. It's one of their #1 songs. It's a really great track. It's a little bit repetitive. It was sort of an alternate choice for the title track from 21st Century Breakdown back in the day, but it's really good. But it doesn't compare to some of these other ones. Number 10, we got "Oh Love" from the trilogy. I'm glad that something from the trilogy made it to the #1 spot. And "Oh Love," it's a great song. It is kind of a weird lead single. It was at the very end of Uno, but it's great. It's got a real clean and crisp sound, and I love it. Talk myself out of feeling. That part is great. Oh, there's some falsetto in that one too. Before the Father of All days. We don't have any Father of All tracks here, sadly, at the top of the mountain. But at number 9, we have "Jar," a standalone single. I think it is the only standalone single we have here, dedicated to Jason Andrew Relva, who was at one time kind of considered a band member in the early days of Green Day. I've been reading this book. Now, Jason Andrew Relva, it's a great song. Now, he was mostly, I've seen it where he was listed as a multi-instrumentalist in some places, but mostly he was like a stand-in for the audience. So Billy Joe and Mike and other guys that would sit in on drums and bass, they would bounce ideas off of Jason Andrew Relva, who passed away in 1992. And that song is just a really awesome dedication to him. Number 8, we got "Longview." I used to think that this was like the Green Day song. Like, I thought that "Longview" was the defining song of them, but it's not that big of a hit. It was their breakthrough. It was the first big song, but it wasn't the biggest song. So it was a #1 in a sea of other #1s. Really great song. I used to think it was hilarious. When I heard it on the radio here in South Carolina, it was uncensored until many, many years. And I think part of it was Billy's enunciation of the words. The censors just didn't hear it. Number 7, we got "When I Come Around." And I know this is like one of their big songs. All these are their big songs. This one is something that's really easy to play on guitar. It's the only song that I can just play without looking up the chords, without reading. I can just play the song all the way through. It's super easy. You got G, C, D, maybe an E minor, and it's just a lot of fun. Sounds great even if you suck on guitar like I do. Number 6 is "Minority." I had a tough time once I got into my top 6 Green Day #1s. It's just, they're all freaking perfect from here on out. I would argue probably even "When I Come Around" is a perfect song too. It's just a little bit, I've had a little bit too much Dookie in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've listened to that one a little bit too much. So I've kind of gotten tired of "When I Come Around." Minority too, it kind of gets played and played and played and played. But Minority is number 6, and it's just a big anthem. And I'm a big fan of "Warning" in its entirety. And Minority just deserves to be here. But again, now the list got really difficult for me to rank these songs, these big #1s. Number 5 is the Basket Case. 1 billion streams more. It's going to reach 2 billion soon. This is the defining Green Day song. I don't get sick of it. Nobody gets sick of it. It's played nonstop all day, every day, somewhere, and It's Basket Case. It's the song that really solidified the success of Dookie. Now, as we get into my top four, it looks like it's going to be all American Idiot from here on out. And it just got tougher and tougher because I was like, how do I, you got American Idiot, you got Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Wake Me Up When September Ends, and Holiday. How do I rank those? And I did just kind of shuffle the order a little bit there. Number 4, Wake Me Up When September Ends. It's emotional. The solo is great. The guitar playing is hard to replicate, but possible to do at home. It's a lot of fun to play on guitar. And then the number 3, the top 3 Green Day number 1s for me, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I know that's a lot of people's favorite. Like that to me for a while was their big song. And then number 2, we got American Idiot. It just changed the world. What can we say about American Idiot that hasn't been already said? And number 1, Holiday. Holiday, right now, my favorite number 1 by Green Day ever. Now, in looking at this list, these number 1 songs by Green Day, it really helped me to understand why exactly Dookie is held above all the other Green Day albums, even though a bunch of them are better than Dookie, in my opinion. You really can't go wrong with Basket Case, When I Come Around, Longview. She was a big single too. And I bet if the Trilogy and Father of All had the right singles and different album art, they wouldn't have been so disrespected when they came out. And today, let's see if we can alter the releases of the Trilogy and Father of All and get them some late career number 1 hits. First off is the Trilogy, and for the sake of my collapsing sanity, let's say that Uno is the standalone album. And we'll just, Dose and Trey will come out later under different names, different singles. Don't worry about that right now. Let's just focus on Uno, and it's going to be their standalone. It feels weird to say, but Uno was their 9th, it is their 9th studio record. So this is going to be Uno retooled, reshaped with 4 solid tunes for singles, and then we'll do the same thing for Father of All. Uno is going to be now known as Green Day, self-titled. Got some really nifty AI-generated art that's going to be popping up on the screen for possible album covers. And for the singles, I've got a plan to make Uno, now called Green Day, a big success. Billy Joe's going to be sober, too. Don't worry about that. Okay, the lead single of self-titled in 2012, the 9th Green Day album, is going to be Stay the Night. This is a number 1 for sure. Stay the Night is the most beloved song of the entire trilogy and would resonate with so many people. So many folks want to stay the night with other folks. So this would be the lead single instead of Oh Love. Number 2, we got to switch things up like Green Day does with the fast, slow, fast, slow. It worked with American Idiot. It will work here. If they hire me as a creative consultant, I would have Sweet 16 be the next single following Stay the Night. And this would be a top 10, at least. A top 10 bop. Now for the 3rd single of Uno, called Green Day, I'm thinking Rusty James. Jack Black, this is the greatest song in the world. Oh, all right. And finally, we do use Oh Love as the 4th and final single. It was originally a number 1 hit, so I think it would do just fine as being kind of the throwaway last and final single of Green Day, the 9th studio album from Green Day. I really wanted Fell For You to be a single, but I just couldn't fit it into this idea. I woke up and I pulled up sweat. When I woke up as a nervous wreck and I fell for you. Moving on to the Father of All album, I have to say that the songs are the same quality of other Green Day releases, guys. The new album cover and the new title, I think, would go a long way to making Father of All not get the crap that it got. So we're going to get a new album cover on the screen, and we're going to be calling, instead of Father of All ... which is incredibly stupid, I'll admit that, it's going to be called Graffitia. And it's going to be, the songs are going to be the same because they rock. And these are going to be the singles. The lead single of Father of All, now called Graffitia, is going to be Sugar Youth. Classic, idiot Green Day. You guys remember Nelly? I am number one. 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. I am number one. Sugar Youth. So, and just like we did with Uno, or the self-titled, which it's called now, we're going to be going fast, slow with the singles. We don't have a lot of slow songs on Father of All. So the second single is going to be Graffitia, which is the closest thing we got, and it's going to be a big hit for Green Day as well. Number 3 is Meet Me on the Roof, and this is a pop gem if there ever was one. And people would have gotten this, fans would have gotten this to number 1 if it wasn't just thrown out at the tail end, like on album release day, and also the world was ending right when it came out. Rather unfortunate. It would have been a big hit. I will say that to this day. And the 4th and final single from Father of All, even though you guys were clamoring for a 5th in I Was a Teenager Teenaging, we're not going to give you that one. We're going to give you Take the Money and Crawl, a wild and fun rocker. This song would have had fans chuckling and waiting to see what words were bleeped out when it got played on the radio. Wait a minute. Are radios still a thing? I think radios are dead in 2024. It's the end... Oh no! It's the end of the world and Billy Joe's out there standing on the edge of it. Again, Billy! Jilly-Bo! There you have it. Green Day's self-titled 2012 album and 2020's Graffitia, a concept record about making great albums that everybody hates. And remember, don't stay the night, stay punk! My brother David was a great athlete, and I knew there's no way I could live up to that. So I became Green Day. You know, want to ride my bicycle? Yeah. I don't like Star Wars! Trek's better!